when I was in college nearby at Johns Hopkins, I had 2 years of amenorrhea, which is a scientific way of saying you lose your menstrual cycle. And
Right.
I'd been a pretty healthy kid from this Lyme experience through to college. And I started to go through this healing journey, right? Going to all these different conventional doctors. And my Lyme experience was so positive with a lot of these natural practitioners and integrative practitioners, not really that many doctors, to be honest. And yet I still thought, okay, I'm going to go to the best doctors at Johns Hopkins, the best doctors in New York City where I'm from, long wait lists, all this sort of thing. And every single one of them looked at my blood work and said, nothing's really wrong with you. How about you just take the birth control pill and, we can just see what happens. And I had finally the wherewithal from watching my mom's experience to advocate for myself and bring a lot of research with me to the appointments to say, that's not a solution. That's a Band-Aid. That's going to provide a fake period, and it's not going to tell me why my body isn't able to do this thing that should happen for all young women and has been happening to me for 6 years successfully, which is getting, a monthly period. And so if you can't help me get to the root cause, respectfully, I'm going to go find something else.
Yeah, you said something really important, which is you went out and found a lot of research that actually no one was talking about in the conventional medical field. There actually was research there you found. Is that correct?
Well, it probably wasn't the kind of research that you were finding at the same time, deep in PubMed with various, academic papers behind it. I think it was just, I looked into whether a birth control pill could actually get to the root cause of a chronic health issue, which is not getting your period, and it couldn't. It was inducing a fake period. And so I just brought research about how the birth control pill really worked. And so I was able to show them this is actually not going to solve the problem. And they all had to say, yeah, you're right, but we don't know what else to do.
We don't know what else to do, yeah. So you looked for other things to do. Again, paying attention to things that were benign, that were not going to be harmful, and that type of thing as a key guide.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And 6 months of working with a naturopath in New York City, my period came back, and she had explained that a 6-month program of hers would yield that. So it was pretty remarkable that it was exactly on time.
Huh. What do you know?
And it's been normal ever since. And that was a big moment for me, just about if I had gone down a different path and hadn't advocated for myself and looked up the research myself and just kind of taken their word for it that this was the right program, not only would those underlying health conditions that I'd been dealing with that I didn't really realize related to, being abroad and having a parasite and taking too much Cipro when I was abroad, so wiping out the good bacteria in my gut and having a thyroid dysfunction that I didn't really know about, and all these things kind of together really created hormonal imbalance. And so years of that later, and not, going undiagnosed, would have yielded so many other health problems. And so all the while it's being masked by this contraceptive, such that I think it's all okay because every month I get this fake period.
Yeah.
So
the lack of a period really was a symptom of other chronic illnesses.
Completely.
And we're now beginning to realize that your gut microbiome, the flora in your gut, influence a lot of things in our body. So that the science is starting to be filled in at the time.
Yes, at the time we hadn't, we didn't have a lot of that information, but I was working with a naturopath who I think was really clued into that before there was actually evidence of that. Yeah. And she helped me to see that these things were all connected. And like you explained, really took the time. I think we went over my blood work for the first appointment for over an hour.
Wow.
Line by line, she explained how all these different things were connected. And after that, I thought, I'm never going back to a doctor's appointment that's 7 minutes. I'm not.